Welcome back to Homestead Corner. I'm Jenny, and today I have got a list of 20 of my top budget preps. There are so many different types of emergencies that we try to prepare for. Not every emergency is the end of the world or end of life as we know it. Some things are short term. Some we prepare for sickness, job loss, inflation, all sorts of stuff, shortages, supply chain problems. We need to be prepared for a really wide variety of items. In this economy, it is very difficult. Inflation has really hit us all pretty hard, and it's hard to get stocked up if you're not already stocked up. But today I have a list of 20 items that are budget friendly. Most of these items can be found at dollar stores for pretty inexpensive, but always check your other local stores because sometimes you can find it even cheaper, especially if you hit a sale or clearance spots or anything like that. I am always checking clearance areas in all of the stores that I go to, whether it's the dollar store, Walmart, local grocery store, whatever it is. We always check the clearance because we have found a lot of stuff in there that can be useful in an emergency or just everyday items that help make our life better. So let's jump into this list and see what my top 20 budget preps are. Number 1, instant coffee or tea, stuff like that. You want to make sure that you've got something that's soothing, that you're used to having all the time. So in an emergency, you have got some normalcy. Teas are wonderful. There are so many different medicinal teas, whether you buy them at the store or make your own teas. There are so many different ones that you can have to really help soothe you, calm you, help get you through situations, which is great. All sorts of, belly issues, tons of different things. So teas and coffees definitely are top of my list. The second one is salt. Salt is still pretty inexpensive. The bigger bulk you buy, the cheaper it usually is per pound, which is wonderful. But I have found even the Dollar Tree's pink salt, because that's what we use, is really, really affordable. $1.25 for a pound, and in the other stores it's $4 to $5 a pound for pink salt. Number 3, Kleenex. We can use Kleenex for all sorts of things. Not just cold and flu season for wiping your nose, but it's also great for, you can use it for toilet paper. You can start fires with it. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with Kleenex. So I think those are definitely important. Number 4, Chapstick. Chapstick is really inexpensive. It's super easy to make if you have the ingredients at home. It's literally a little bit of oil and beeswax mixed together. You can make your own really cheaply. And it can be used in tons of different ways. We really like Chapstick because it has so many uses. Number 5, hand sanitizer. You want to make sure you've got that on hand so when you need it, you can get your hands clean stuff up if you have to, but making sure that you're not getting sick, especially in an emergency. Things are already tough. You do not want to add a sickness on top of that. Number 6, bar soap is still really inexpensive and wonderful. It lasts a super long time and it is great to have. I love hand wash and liquid soaps. They're great, but we always keep a good supply of bar soaps because they last a lot longer and they go a lot further. Number 7, wet wipes. I love those things. I think they are so handy. We keep them in all our emergency bags, in our car, all over the place. I don't really use them in the house, at home or anything, but we keep them for when we're out and we need them. It's just quick and simple and disposable, which is great. Number 8, toilet paper. Toilet paper is still pretty affordable. It definitely has risen over the last couple of years, but it's good to have a good supply. Again, like the Kleenex, they can be used for multiple things, not just wiping. Number 9, antibiotic ointment. That is wonderful to have in your first aid kits. A lot of places, I think Walmart, it's still 88 cents a tube for their off-brand stuff, which works just as good as any other brand I have found. Number 10, Band-Aids. You definitely want to have plenty of Band-Aids, gauze, wraps, all that sorts of stuff, so your first aid kit is full and you're prepared if you've got to take care of cuts, scrapes. Number 11, feminine hygiene. I think this is also important for parents with younger children. If we do come into a long-term situation where we need to be prepared, they're going to grow up, they're going to come into their cycle. We need to be ready for that. So even if you have a 8, 9, 10-year-old, we need to think ahead and make sure we're prepared for that. Number 12, oral care. You can get your floss, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all that stuff still pretty inexpensively, especially at the dollar stores. It's still pretty cheap. So making sure we have plenty of that. Again, in a long-term emergency, oral care should be right at the top of your list. So many things can go wrong. An infected tooth can be disastrous. So making sure we keep our teeth super clean is so important. And number 13, zip ties. I love zip ties. We use them for all sorts of projects around here. We have fixed fences with them, tied things together with them, make like a button loop on a tarp. There's just so many different things you can do with them. Zip ties are so good to have for different things that you may have to do. Number 14, lighters. Having lighters on hand is great when you gotta light candles, fires, anything like that. I like to keep a decent supply of lighters, and also number 15, matches. So when those lighters run out, you've got a backup for that. Matches are still really inexpensive. You can get them Dollar Trees. I think they're still around $1 a box at Walmart. Just checking around and get the best price you can for any of the supplies that you don't have enough of. And number 16, batteries. Rechargeable batteries if you can. Those can get quite pricey if you have a large amount of them, but just making sure you have batteries for all your different things. And the rechargeable ones, if you're going to invest in rechargeable, you want to make sure you have an alternative way to charge them, because if there's no electricity, you've got to make sure you've got a generator or some other way that you can charge these batteries. Number 17, duct tape. Duct tape, along with zip ties, WD-40, they are the fix-alls. You can use them for so much stuff. We keep a good supply of duct tape. You can get some inexpensive duct tape, or you can spend more on it and get a higher quality duct tape. But duct tape, I think, is so important. I really love the Gorilla brand. It's not as cheap, but it works, and I have ripped wood apart trying to take tape off. The stick is just so sticky, and I really love the Gorilla duct tape. That one works the best for us. Number 18, contractor bags. Another multi-purpose item. You can use these for so many things, and they're so much thicker than your regular trash bags. So if you have to cover a window, a door, a broken window on your car, anything like that, if you have to cover your generator over in a storm outside, make a funnel to collect water, there's just so many uses for contractor bags. And the thicker bag is going to last longer. The thinner trash bags they tear way too easy. I love to keep a good supply of contractor bags. And number 19, shoelaces. I had a bootlace break a couple of weeks ago, and what a pain in the bottom. Luckily, I had extra pairs for my boots, and because I wear boots all the time, and sandals a little bit in the summer, and I don't wear sneakers a whole lot, a little bit, but I love boots. They're comfortable, especially if I'm working, doing anything, my feet are protected. But when a lace breaks, what a pain. And the laces are also, they can be tied together for rope and used in multi different ways. And number 20, I think hard candy. We like to vacuum seal it so it has a little bit longer of a shelf life, but it's one of those things, it's going to give you a little sugar rush if you need it, and it's also going to give you that little piece of normalcy, a little treat for the kids, something like that. If we had a longer term emergency and we were not able to get to the stores, or we have a supply chain problem, anything like that, we want to make sure that we've got those things in the house that we can give ourselves a little morale booster or a little treat here and there, or even if you just need a little sugar for an energy boost, that works as well. Having those on hand can be super handy. And that is it for my top 20 budget preps that are still really, really affordable. And I think we should make sure we have plenty of these items in our stockpiles for SHTF, because we just don't know from one day to the next what is going to happen. And we can see prices are continuing to rise. The gas is going up again. It's gone up well over 70 cents here in the last month, and we're seeing it creep and creep higher and higher. Nothing at the grocery store is coming down, although I heard inflation's, going away, I've heard on the news, but we all know how that is. It's here, it's not going anywhere, and it continues to get worse, and we need to make sure that we're prepared. There are going to be things that we can't afford anymore, and we need to be ready for that. If we've got it ahead or got something to replace it, that's going to help us the most. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!